Welcome to Heavy Metal Monday.
Hey, it's Mike Caprillo. I'm coming to you live from Varsity House Gym. Welcome to another edition of Heavy Metal Monday. Today I'm going to bring you the second day of my training template, my gym lifts. Last week we started doing day one of my Strongman training template, the template I've been following for the last 8.5 years since I've been training Strongman, what I do after my Strongman Saturdays. Before we get into that a little bit of an introduction, I want to go ahead and talk about how I got these new green tights on, okay? Now, I'm not the most trendy individual that there is, okay? Anytime I do try to do anything that's a little bit cool or trendy, I usually get made fun of here at the gym. But these were a Christmas gift from my parents, so I do not care. I'm wearing them, I like them, and that's the bottom line, all right? So let's get on to what we're gonna really do today, okay? Today's gonna be an inside look. Since I've been coming back since an injury that I acquired in July, my bicep that required surgery, been training and recovering from that. I basically have combined day 2 and day 3 of my gym lifts and kind of combined them together of my max effort upper work and my posterior chain work and some breathing work. So that's what you're going to see today. We're going to start off with some max effort upper work with some power development stuff as well in the beginning, some jumps and some med ball throws mixed in with my max effort upper work. Plus, we'll get a good look at some posterior chain work that I like to do. And then afterwards, we'll do some breathing work. And I'll give you a little bit more of a description at the end of the show. And also at the end of the show, make sure you stay tuned for my heavy metal song of the week. Let's do it. Okay, guys, so that was another inside look at my training. I said earlier in the show that in the last few months, I was combining day 2 and day 3 of that template that I use for after my Strongman Saturdays. The last few months I've been combining those 2 days. So today what you saw was starting off with some power development work, just get my nervous system fired up with some jumps, regular squat jumps, some split squat jumps. I did some max effort upper work with some benching. Worked about anywhere between that was about 65 to 75% max effort for a couple sets of singles. I did 2 drop sets with an 8 rep and a 12 rep drop set, and then did a couple explosive throws, just once again keep my nervous system fired up in between my singles. Then we did some body weight stuff. I did some body weight uppers, so some dips. I always like to just throw some body weight stuff in there, variations, dips, pull-ups, push-ups, whatever it may call for. Then my posterior chain work. I did 2 sets of the pause reverse hypers. Those are very difficult. I just started putting those in my program, holding at the top for 2 seconds, trying to work the top part of my glutes. You got to go pretty light on those and build up. I tried to start off like a tough guy and go a little too heavy when I first did those, and it was very difficult. So I started off a little lighter, trying to build up to that. I did 2 of those pause sets, and then I did 2 regular decompression sets where I loaded up some more weight and I used the swing part of the reverse hyper a little more. And we did 4 rounds total in reverse hypers. I did some light stone picks and extension work with that. And then at the end was some breathing work with the prowler. Now, some of you who follow a lot of our stuff, you may know Big Mike Riley. He was on one of my previous shows where I did an anterior and posterior chain exercises. Congratulations to him. He recently just signed with the Arizona Cardinals, so he'll be with them next spring and getting ready for the summer camp. So he'll be here the next few months training and working his butt off. But he has a lot of the conditioning records in the gym. I think he's on the Concept 2. He's #1 in the country in his age group on the rower, and great at the ski erg. He has like all those records, and I challenged him to beat my Twin Peaks time, and my Twin Peaks time, which is a prowler challenge within the gym. I won't go into really exactly what it is, but my time was 2:13, and I put a challenge out to him saying, you know, do all these rowers and ski ergs and stuff. I'm gonna give you a real a nice challenge here, and try to get my Twin Peaks time. And he wound up, I had 2:13, he did it in 1:52. He absolutely crushed it. So now he's been on my case for the last month and a half, and I'm trying to build myself up to try to beat that time. I got to take off about 20 seconds off my original best time. So you saw at the end there, I was doing some breathing work, and I did like a big giant mountain build up and back down. It was very difficult, and but I finished it up, and we're trying to build, and hopefully I can beat 152 because I can't allow him to own that. I have to own the Twin Peaks record and the Prowler record. So so that was it. That was the gist of the workout. Basically, in the last few months, like I said, I've been combining day 2 and day 3. Day 4 has become basically a recovery workout with sled pulls and body weight work and some breathing exercises and stuff like that. Where day 3 now is my Strongman, my actual Strongman Saturdays with my Strongman events and stuff. So so that's a good couple workouts there. A little inside look at my training. Hope you enjoyed that. Now let's move on to my heavy metal song of the week. Okay, guys, it's time for my heavy metal song of the week. This week we're going to go back to a band I originally had on the show. I talked a lot about them. They're one of my all-time favorite heavy metal bands, and that's the band Lamb of God. They came out with their album Stern Moon Drawn. That was one of their newest albums they came out with in the past year. And what's really cool is that Lamb of God and Slipknot is actually now they're being considered now for a Grammy. And last year the nominees were really not up to par. So it's good to see that some real good heavy metal bands that have been dominating the heavy metal scene for the last 10 years are finally starting to get some recognition. And Slipknot's album's up for Grammy Metal Album of the Year, and Lamb of God's song 512 off that new album is up for Metal Song of the Year for a Grammy. So that's really awesome. But the song we're going to do here is another song off that album. It's my personal favorite off that album. It's a song called Overlord. The song also has a video on it, so if you're willing to watch the video and interested to check out the video, it's a pretty cool video. But the song Overlord, to me, is the best song on that album. It's the most complete song on the album, and if you hear Randall Blythe talk about that song, it's basically, it doesn't sound vintage Lamb of God in the beginning. It's a little bit different, and there's good vocals in the beginning where Randall Blythe is singing, and he said himself he wasn't too sure how well that was going to go. He never really did a song like that, and I thought his vocals sounded really clean. He can really sing great, and then, you know, as it led up, the first 3.5 minutes, him singing, and the sweet guitar riffs and everything like that, and then it leads into that breakdown when he kicks in and starts yelling and starts singing and starts kicking it off. It's a great breakdown, awesome song, one of their most complete songs they've ever done. So make sure you check out that song, Overlord. It's one of my favorite Lamb of God songs. It's my favorite song off that album. That's a terrific album. Check that album out. And they're an all-around great band, and I should hopefully be seeing them in a few weeks at Hammerstein Ballroom with Anthrax. So I'm pretty excited for that show. Okay, guys, so that's it for me today. That's the end of the show for today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. And if you have any questions, comments, please get to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you check us here at varsityhousegym.com, and I'll see you guys all next week. And until then, stay heavy.